Hi friends! So I'm going to be talking about a low-tech solution for pulling up your pants if your hands aren't working just right. So the client I am doing this for specifically has osteoarthritis, but this could still be a good solution for anyone experiencing problems in their hands where maybe they have limited fine motor skills or just limited range of motion in their hands, or deficits with in-hand manipulation or limited grip and pinch strength. So this solution could work for any of those kind of things. What you're gonna need is some kind of piece of rigid fabric. We're gonna be cutting it, so you're gonna need some scissors, like some fabric scissors like these. And your fabric should be really just big enough so that the client, whoever you're using this for, has a good amount of extra space around their hand. So you're gonna have to measure just based off of their hand size. And I would take into consideration swelling that might happen, and just give yourself quite a bit of extra material because again, we're going to be using this for the purpose of just putting their hand inside of it. They're not gonna have to do any grasping or manipulating the loop. We just want to get the hand through it like that. So just give yourself extra space. And then also a pair of pants. You're gonna need that. Whatever pants you're gonna want to put these loops on, and I will show at the end how that is used. But I got this jacket just from Goodwill, and then you can see on the bottom there, I'll turn it around, I just cut across that. So starting at this end, cutting all the way through to the end just to give myself the most amount of material. And I chose that spot specifically because it was a little bit more rigid than the other parts of the jacket. So I would say just not like a t-shirt, not a stretchy material, nothing with elastic. Just get something that is kind of like the end of a jean jacket would be probably rigid enough for the purposes that we're going to be using it for. So I've already cut off that part of the jacket, and these are the pants we're gonna be using. I would also recommend whoever you are gonna be using these for, you might want to consider if they're wanting to match the inside. The person that I'm making this for, they're going to want them on their jeans, so that's why I did this, but I'm using my pants right now because she hasn't chosen which pants she wants to use. So I've already got this loop on here, and I guess you can have a little preview to what we're going to be doing. I would want this loop to be quite a bit bigger than this is, but I was a little short on material, so that's the idea, but we'll get there in a minute. And also, you ideally would be able to sew this on. I don't have my sewing materials with me, so for the time being, I'm just going to do a little safety pin on this and do a little knot so that it stays on there good, but it should work just fine if it's sewed on there. A lot of pockets on pants won't have the same kind of like stretch that these PJ pants have, but again, ideally you would sew it on. So right now I'm gonna get a safety pin, my material, and the end of my pocket. So just to show you, here's my pants. I've got the pocket pulled out there, and I'm gonna find the deepest part of the pocket. So when you pull it out, it's gonna be that end, and try to find the seam there. And I'm just gonna take one part of my little material there, pin that through. I guess you can do it all at once, but I just chose to not, and then bring this through as well. It's a little harder when you're standing, but So I have a little loop there. And then, like I said, for my purposes where I don't have my sewing materials, I'm actually gonna just, I'll show you how to do it, but I don't really know how to explain this. Just make a little knot kind of loop around this. Just pull through like a basic knot. It doesn't have to be anything fancy. And again, you would actually sew this, but pull through. So I have a little knot in there, and this is gonna actually be inside the pocket. So I've got loops on each side. And so when somebody with osteoarthritis would go to use this, okay, so say they're getting dressed in the morning, like my client will be, and they're already, at this point, she doesn't have too much trouble getting this part on, so I'm fast forwarding a little. Once they get to this part, she can't really use the fingers in her hands a lot. It's just more gross motor skills that she has. So she could just take her hand, and instead of having to work forever to pull them up, just pull her hand through that loop. Same thing on the other side, and pull up. So I didn't have to use my fingers at all with that. Now I've got my pants on.